Well, we are seeing just northeast of Madison Lake is where that tightest rotation is located. So as Lily has been talking about, those reds and those greens kind of touching each other, that's where we're watching for that main area of rotation. This is now east of the London area. So if you're in the London area proper, in and near London, this rotation is now past you, so giving you the all clear from the tornado aspect of this. However, again, where we see this green, that's going toward the radar, down toward Wilmington. We have reds going away, and where those two come together, just east of Madison Lake, that's where that possible tornado would be located. Again, this tornado warning goes until, I believe it was 10 o'clock, is that correct? So yes. Another 5 minutes here, and that is moving off toward, what, the southeast at, let's see here. Okay, the Weather Service is noting that the rotation is weakened somewhat in Madison County, but they are keeping an eye on it, but we are still seeing that rotation signature on there. As I back out the view, this will kind of give you a bit more of a perspective here. So first of all, we still have some of that rotation east of the London area, heading down 665 there. Eventually toward Franklin County. Now, I will say Franklin County not in this particular tornado warning. This includes portions of Madison County, but that's heading east pretty much along 665. Then we have some strong winds to the north coming into the Columbus metro. So there's two aspects to this thunderstorm. First of all, that area of rotation, which has the potential to still produce a tornado. However, again, good sign is that it's showing some signs of weakening as far as that rotation goes. And then again, we have some of these strong winds coming into the Columbus metro. We're seeing some of these reds showing up. That would be affecting Hilliard back toward the Prairie Township area, eventually toward Galloway, pressing off toward the east. Lily, can we go back to reflectivity real quick just so we can get a sense of the regular radar view for folks? All right, and if we can back out the view a little bit as well, just to give the wider perspective here. So, and one of the tricky things with these types of rotation that we have on a day like today is that it's embedded within this line. It's not one of those singular thunderstorms that has a big old hook on it. It's very obvious that it's there. This is embedded within. So if there were to be a brief tornado, either with this line of storms or perhaps with later lines of storms, it's not one that you're probably going to be able to see beforehand. It's going to be wrapped in rain. But in any case, that tornado warning that includes portions of Madison County goes until 10 o'clock. London, again, even though you're still technically in the warning, the potentially tornadic part is off to your east now, so you're on the all clear from the tornado aspect of things. But again, we have this line of thunderstorms coming into the Columbus metro, kind of bowing forward a little bit. And that would indicate some pretty strong wind gusts coming into the area. So could see some wind gusts perhaps as high as 40, 50, maybe even 60 miles an hour as this line of storms comes on in here. And again, this is now getting into the western outer belt, and that is progressing off toward the east. What's the speed on this storm? Not to put you on the spot, I'm sorry. There's a lot to keep track of. So while Lily is looking that up real quick, I'm going to highlight still that there is some of that broad weak rotation located well east of London, south of 665 now. I would say about halfway between London and Harrisburg right now, just south of 665. We see that green and the red kind of coming together a little bit. But again, it has weakened somewhat over the past few minutes, and I would imagine that the Weather Service is going to let this warning expire at 10 o'clock and probably not extend it, at least for the time being. Now, this is one of those situations, as we saw, that you can get that rotation to quickly develop, perhaps produce a brief tornado, and then move on. And that'll be the case, I think, with any future tornado warnings that we may get today, is that they'll be short-lived spin-up tornadoes as opposed to long-track situations. Regardless, it's one of those that if there is a brief tornado and it's a low-end one, it's still enough to cause damage. So that's why we want you to be at least weather aware, regardless of whether it's a tornado warning or if it's severe thunderstorm warnings, because any of these could produce strong wind gusts throughout the day. And it doesn't take a lot to cause tree limbs to come down. And if that lands on power lines, then you got some issues. We saw that with the storms yesterday, and we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the day today for sure. Again, this tornado warning goes for about another minute in Madison County, as we're still seeing some of that broad rotation well east of the London area, south of West Jefferson. But again, we also have those strong winds coming into the Columbus metro at this point. I believe that severe thunderstorm warning has estimated winds up to about 60 miles per hour, which is what we often saw with those warnings that we had throughout the day yesterday. And that'll be kind of what we deal with throughout the day. We have this line of storms to get through. Then there's another batch that's moving into northern Illinois at this point. That will arrive later on today, and that'll be something we have to watch for late this afternoon and going into the evening hours as it probably moves into the state of Ohio. Where exactly it turns and comes into our area, that remains to be seen, but it'll be something we watch for you throughout the day. So you want to stay updated as we go throughout the next little while here. Again, that tornado warning set to expire at 10 o'clock, and it looks like that polygon just went away. So with that in mind, let's just give a brief kind of level set here to get everybody the expectations on what's going on the next little while. We'll, of course, continue on our stream on 10 TV on the app, the streaming app, as well as on your phone, so be joining us there. But again, as we do see here, this line of thunderstorms coming into the Columbus area, and it's going to be pretty rough for a little while. Even if we don't have 60-mile-an-hour winds, if you got 40, 50 miles an hour, 50-mile-an-hour winds, all the lightning that's going to be happening with this, and of course that heavy rain, it's going to be something that we're not going to have feel a very good time with that. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Delaware, Franklin, and Pickaway counties, that goes until 10:30 this morning. Expect wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, as well as lots of lightning and some heavy rain that could cause some localized ponding on the area roads, especially in those nuisance spots that typically get it.